Hello, and welcome to Royal Telly. I'm your host, Chloe. We're here to talk about the things that matter, the things that make a difference. Today, we're going to discuss the recent events involving Prince William and his Order of the Bath ceremony. Quite a spectacle, wasn't it? But let's not forget the real heroes who are making a difference, Harry and Meghan. They're not just standing around in velvet cosplay, they're out there in the field making a real impact. Today, we're going to delve deeper into the stark contrast between these two narratives. We'll look at the substance, sacrifice, and lived values of Harry and Meghan, and how this compares to the performative royal pageantry we've recently witnessed. It's time we had an honest conversation about what service truly means. So, without further ado, let's dive into the heart of the matter. Recently, Prince William was named Great Master of the Order of the Bath. Now, if you're imagining a scene from a Renaissance fair with velvet capes and awkward shoulder pats, you're not far off. It seems like in 2025, we've taken a step back in time and are now heralding this as a moment of great service and honor. But let's take a step back and really look at what this ceremony entails. Here we have Prince William, dressed to the nines in medieval regalia, being bestowed a title that, let's be honest, is more about pomp and pageantry than it is about actual service. And the media, they're lapping it up, treating this spectacle as if it's the most significant event of the year. And yet, when we look at Harry and Meghan, their acts of service are met with scrutiny and criticism. They're out there making a real difference, advocating for mental health, supporting veterans, and engaging in humanitarian work. But their efforts are often overshadowed by the glitz and glamour of ceremonies like the Order of the Bath. Meanwhile, we have King Charles, worth well over £600 million, receiving a tax-free inheritance while the National Health Service is in shambles. People are living with black mold, and the working class are being nickel and dimed for basic services. But sure, let's all stop and applaud a ceremony that's about as impactful as a gold star in preschool. The Sussex supporters see through this. We recognize the performative royal pageantry for what it is, a distraction. William's service is about photo ops and fabricated prestige. Harry and Meghan's service is about substance, sacrifice, and lived values. And yet the British media has the audacity to gaslight the public with this royal cosplay. So is this what we're calling service now? I think not. The Sussexes have shown us what true service looks like, and it's not about cloaks and ceremonies. It's about truth, transparency, and action. Love and light always win, even when the bathwater's cold. On the other hand, let's talk about Harry and Meghan. The Sussexes have chosen a path less trodden, one many might even consider challenging, but let's face it, it's a path that has shown them to be real, genuine people driven by a desire to make a difference. They've immersed themselves in humanitarian work, not just in the UK, but across the globe. They've shown us that service is not about the glitz and glamour, but about touching lives and making a positive impact. They've been hands-on, getting into the trenches, working with communities, and championing causes that others might shy away from. And let's not forget their unwavering support for veterans. Harry's Invictus Games, an international sporting event for wounded, injured, and sick servicemen and women, has given these heroes a platform to shine, a platform to show the world that their spirit is unbroken. Their mental health advocacy has also been impeccable. In the face of their own personal struggles, they've used their platform to bring conversations about mental health into the mainstream. They've shown that it's okay not to be okay, and that seeking help isn't a sign of weakness but a strength. Their activism is not just for show, it's real boots on the ground work. They've walked the walk, not just talked the talk. It's about substance, sacrifice, and lived values. It's about being the change they want to see in the world. And yet, despite all this, the British media chooses to focus on the superficial, the ceremonies, the costumes. But we see through it. We see the truth. We see the real service, the real dedication, the real heart that Harry and Meghan bring to their work. No velvet cloaks or royal ceremonies can overshadow the genuine service of the Sussexes. They are the embodiment of what service should truly be about: giving, caring, and making a difference. This, my dear viewers, is what I call real service. So, let's contrast these two pictures. We have Prince William donning his velvet cloak, parading around in a show of pomp and circumstance that would make a Renaissance fair blush. To the untrained eye, this might seem like service, but in reality, it's a hollow display of inherited privilege and performative pageantry. On the other side of the arena, we have Harry and Meghan, rolling up their sleeves, getting their hands dirty, and doing the real work. Their service isn't about staged photo ops or ceremonial charades. It's about tangible actions that make a difference. It's about humanitarian work, supporting veterans, advocating for mental health, and putting their money where their mouth is. Yet, the British media, with their selective lens, would have you believe that William's royal cosplay is somehow more commendable than Harry and Meghan's authentic activism. This isn't just a disservice to the Sussexes. It's a disservice to the public, who are being fed a narrative that values costume over character and ceremony over substance. But here's the thing, the Sussex squad isn't buying it. We don't fall for the smoke and mirrors. We see the monarchy for what it is, a PR machine that prioritizes image over impact. We see the order of the bath shenanigans for what they are, a distraction from the real issues at hand. And we see Harry and Meghan's service for what it is, a genuine commitment to making the world a better place. William can keep his velvet cloak and his hollow accolades. The Sussexes, with their boots on the ground and their hearts in the right place, are the ones truly deserving of our respect and admiration. They're not just talking the talk. They're walking the walk, and they're doing it without the need for fancy costumes or empty ceremonies. The Sussex squad sees through the games. We see the truth behind the spectacle, and we're not afraid to call it out. We stand with Harry and Meghan, not because of their titles, but because of their actions. And that, my friends, is what real service looks like. In conclusion, it's high time we saw the royal charade for what it really is. It's all too easy to get swept up in the grandeur and tradition, the pomp and circumstance. But when we strip away the velvet robes and the gilded crowns, what are we left with? We're left with a hierarchy that values image over substance, that rewards the mere act of showing up rather than the hard work of making a real difference. We're left with a monarchy that's more interested in playing dress-up than in addressing the very real issues facing its citizens. Contrast that with Harry and Meghan, who have chosen to step away from the spectacle and step into service. They've traded the red carpets for the dirt roads, the photo ops for the opportunity to create meaningful change. The Sussexes are not just talking the talk, they're walking the walk. They're boots on the ground, hands in the dirt, making things happen. They're not interested in the accolades or the approval, they're interested in the work, and their work speaks for itself. So let's not be fooled by the smoke and mirrors of the royal PR machine. Let's not be swayed by the shiny baubles and the flashy titles. Let's look at the actions, the substance, the real work that's being done. And let's remember that it's not about who's wearing the crown, but who's wearing the boots. It's not about the ceremonies, but the service. And it's not about the image, but the impact. Harry and Meghan have shown us what real service looks like. They've shown us that it's possible to break free from the constraints of tradition and forge your own path. They've shown us that it's not about fitting in, but standing out. So let's stand with them. Let's support their work and their mission. Let's champion truth, transparency, and action. Let's be the change we want to see in the world. Remember, love and light always win, even when the bathwater's cold. Well, that's all for today's video. I'm grateful that you've taken the time to listen to our conversation. It's essential to question what's presented to us, to look beyond the velvet and the vibes, to seek out truth and transparency. Remember, the Sussexes are out there making a real difference, their actions speaking louder than any staged photo ops. So while the royal PR machine keeps spinning, let's continue to stand strong for Harry and Meghan and for the values they represent. I encourage you to share your thoughts in the comments. Let's keep this conversation going, and remember to hit that like button if you found this video insightful. If you haven't already, subscribe to our channel, Royal Telly, for more content that celebrates the real service and the genuine values of the Sussexes. Until next time, keep supporting the Sussexes, and remember, we see the games.